Is everybody in? Is everybody in? The ceremony is about to begin. This entertainment is not new. You've seen this entertainment through and through. You've seen your birth, your life, your death. You might recall all the rest. Did you have a good world when you died? Enough to base a movie on? What are the humans doing?
Do you think you're ready? Can you handle the truth? Or are you in denial and demand more proof? They demonstrate in real time how they're spinning you lies, but no one pays attention, no one opens their eyes. They walk around like zombies with their head in the mobiles, signaling their virtues with a pick on their profile. Yeah. Signaling their virtues with a pick on their profile. So if you think you're ready, you don't need more proof. Conspiracy deniers are denying the truth. They fabricate our problems and pretend to provide the best solution, but we all know they lied. They lied about the weapons and they lied about health. They lied about the fact that they're transferring the wealth. You should really notice how they're pushing the fear. Keep everybody terrified and not thinking clear. Yeah. Everybody's not thinking clear. Keep everybody terrified. Yeah, thinking and not thinking. Keep everybody terrified and not thinking clear. When you do, you realize that this is a trick. It's getting really stupid now, they're taking the mic. Said, do you think you're ready? Can you handle the truth? Or are you in denial and demanding more proof? They demonstrate in real time how they're spinning you lies, but no one pays attention, no one opens their eyes. They walk around like zombies with their head in the mobiles, signaling their virtues with a pick on their profile. Yeah, signaling their virtues on their profile. Hey.
Oh, Sasquatch? Oh, yeah, he's like the Sandy Waxler of YouTubes.
Next time he'll get his own ketchup.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to Sasquatch Shills for Sasquatch Shills. So you don't have to. Today, I've caught a channel at the very beginning of its journey, and I absolutely love this type of stuff. Specifically, I really like the car he's working on. So without any type of gilding the lily, I'm just going to pop him up here. What's up, bud?
How's it going?
It's going pretty spiffy. In general, you've just started your channel about 6 months ago. I never did check that.
It's a little over a year, I think, but I haven't really been hitting it real hard until more recently.
Right. And you pretty much just started cleaning this old bucket out, right?
Yep. Got the seats out, ripping the interior out.
How ratty is she? Be honest.
It's real bad.
It's real bad.
It's good from far, but far from good.
The main problem I had with my El Camino was about halfway home from Texas with it, I discovered that rats had gotten into the harness.
Mm-hmm.
And I was kind of randomly sparking off of spots riding down the road, just waiting for it to go up in flames, brother. But have you had any problems like that, or have you even tried to start it yet?
I've tried to even just barely try to turn it over by hand, and it's locked.
All right. So it's a 61 Corvair, correct?
Yeah. Yes.
Any kind of special anything to it? Is it a, I don't know if
So it's
editions back then or whatever.
all right. So I'll give you a quick rundown. 61 Corvair Monza, which is the 900, which is the top of the line for that year. That's
Right.
They started with the base model. It was a 500, a 700, and then the 900. But the Monza was the 900.
And is that a mid-engine V6?
It's a rear engine flat six.
Rear engine flat six.
Yes.
Right. I knew there was something really hinky about the 61. I could not remember what it was, and I didn't want to go digging through Google and finding out absolutely everything because I wouldn't have any questions and I wouldn't ask anything, right?
Yep.
All right. So did you start the channel specifically to rebuild the car, or did you get the car to rebuild as a channel?
It kind of happened close to the same time. So it was actually my grandfather's car before, and he had it and kind of messed with it, and he got it originally. Let's see, I think in the 60s or 70s is when he got it. And he traded it for a 56 Bel Air convertible with a blown engine.
Oh, wow.
But he needed to get back and forth to work, so that's what he ended up with. And it ended up going to other family members, and then he ended up back with it. Oh, man, that's probably been 10 years ago now. I forget the exact times. I get real mixed up with years.
Oh, yeah. But, no. I can't pin down exactly when it was I went and got this El Camino. I just know back then I was smacked down on every drug known to man. And I'm not anymore, and I can't remember exactly when that took place. I'm sure there's some paperwork around here somewhere.
Yeah.
Well, that's cool. You had it sitting there. You didn't have to go like looking for it.
Yeah.
That's nifty as it can get out, man.
Mm-hmm.
So are you going back original, or are you going to be doing any type of tuning?
Well, I'm probably going to go mostly original. I'm not really going to hot rod it. I just want to have something to cruise around in.
Right.
But
yeah, I kind of screwed the pooch on that one. When I went looking for my for the El Camino, I found a good one. It was $396. It's got the full Super Sport kit on it. It's a clone. I know what I'm getting. I'm not deluding myself.
Nothing wrong with that.
You know, exactly. It's got all the parts and all the tinsel. What I didn't know is it had been built from scratch to be a drag racer. When I got it back to Georgia and put some of this crappy gas in it, it suddenly started burping up hairballs, like, and it's just the build on it. It's the cam that it has. It's it's the whole package. And I'm like, all right, so do I spend $7,000 ripping that apart to put in something that'll just carry my fat ass around the square a couple of times a year? Or do I try to trade this to somebody who could use it and try to get me like a 69 wagon? I don't care if it's got a V6 in it, a flat six. I'll take a 4-cylinder if it'll just tow my fat ass around the square a couple of times a year. That's all. I'd like to take it cross country, right? Yeah. That would be cool.
Mm-hmm.
Probably not. I mean, be honest. Would you trust that Corvair to go cruise the
Mississippi? Right now, I wouldn't trust it out of my driveway.
Yeah, that's true. I got the same situation sitting in my backyard right now. The thing is, I just haven't been able to settle on a direction to go with it. And half the people over here in the freaking subscribers list have caught glimpses of that thing in the corners of my videos because I'm not trying to show it yet. I'm not ready to do that yet. So folks are like, oh, that aquaponics is nice, but let me talk about that car over there. What is that? So you had the car and you decided you were going to start a YouTube channel to document the reconstruction of the car.
Yep. So I think
with your oldest son.
It's my only son, but yeah.
Your only son. Okay.
Yeah.
that you know of. So I'm sorry, I'm a bit of a daft punk. I was going to do the Captain Curmudgeon bit, but I think we've moved on beyond that. So, function. All right. Who's the dog?
That is our family dog, Poppy. That
Hello,
was
Pop.
not long after we got her. And she tries to climb in the car every chance she gets. If she hears the garage door open, she'll come running.
Mm-hmm. I imagine she smells the mysis that was up in there.
Oh, yeah.
You had any problem with wasps in it?
We only found dead ones.
Oh, cool. I had a 81 Suburban, one of those gargantuans with like the roll down window in the back and the tailgate that would drop. The big one, the one that you want. I should have known something was up when the bill of sale included wasps. Like he put it on the bill of sale. I got it for a ridiculously cheap price. Had a 454 in it. It was everything you could possibly want. Go anywhere. Mike could drive it maybe 2 weeks in the winter if you went in and like run all the hornets out. Because here's the problem. It wasn't just hornets, and it wasn't just red wasps, and it wasn't just guinea wasps. You could go wipe out the hornets, and it would be full of red wasps by like the end of 2 weeks. You could wipe them out, and it would be full of guinea wasp or something else. Every time you turned on the heater in that thing, it would blow wasp out of it. And the trip home was extra spicy because I didn't know nothing about the damn wasp except that because I went out and told the guy, I'm like, homie put wasps on the thing, and I went and run all the wasps out from under the fenders and got them all out from in here and in there and over here. And okay, I think we got all the wasps, right? I got about 8 miles down the road. They started coming out every vent in that damn thing. And I'm not particularly afeared of wasps, and so I just kind of gritted my teeth and let them fly. Reached over real slow, hoped the window would roll down, and it did, but it seemed to really make them all real mad. I didn't get stung, but it was a very antsy trip home. What's up, country boy archaeology? Let's go see who all been talking to us. I'm ignoring them. My bad. Wait, I saw something about a 78 Dodge Challenger. Ooh. Yin Yang News is getting the gold tonight. Lucy Morningstar gets the silver, and you don't get to have 2 M's, so Dennis Bowles gets the bronze. And remember, we have one more. There's a Princess OPD. What is she tonight? Princess OPD channel videos, 8 passengers old Utah. Hit the like. Can't chat. That's what she say. ATL's joined. We got one more trophy we've added, and it's the participation trophy of the night, and it's for the best trolley name that comes in. M, don't you dare. You will be unmodded immediately if you change your name again. Keep that one. Stay that one, please. Don't go back to anything trolley. Oh, dear God, don't do that. We got Country Boy Archaeology in here. It's good to see you, bud. I think I used up all of my notifications earlier because I forgot what time I uploaded the first short. So, like, usually I get like the notification for the day and then the notification when I go live. But today, all I got was the 30-minute warning for, I guess, because I uploaded like 19 shorts last night. I created a new character I call a pimp named Pimp Squatch. And I was just giggling maniacally all afternoon making those. Rear engine says dangerous switch. Correct.
Yep.
So does that make it rear wheel drive too, I assume? There ain't no transfer case and none of that. That thing could go anywhere, dude. I mean, it's like those old transit vans. That thing will go anywhere. Do you have any kind of a schedule worked out on how you're planning on going about this? Because I know when I started up, there was a huge issue between having the time to put things in and being able to actually get the parts I needed.
Well, mine is more just trying to get it and more getting the parts and getting the money to get the parts because
Right.
I got family and all that. And
No, I'm not. Yeah, family first. And in fact,
Mhm.
don't even come here unless you've got time. I mean,
Yeah.
that's the way that works. Uh, you said it was the engine that's in it is probably seized up.
Oh yeah.
Have you put any jelly on it or anything?
Before I tried to spin it over, I put a mystery oil in it in all six cylinders, and it
Does it
didn't do a
run
thing.
through it all? But did it run through? Is the question.
No, it didn't go through it.
It's still sitting in there full.
Yep.
That's actually a pretty good sign. Make
But
sure you keep that topped off. I mean, check it every
yeah.
couple months or whatever until you get to the point where you can actually turn it over. Because if it's got enough seal on it to hold the magic mystery oil in the cylinders,
Mhm.
chances are it'll come loose. Unless there's
Yeah.
something critically damaged in there, it'll come loose.
Well, the good part is there's a guy pretty close to me that he more or less has a Corvair junkyard.
Ooh, baby. Dude, hey, you need to do a tour of that thing. Just wander around and show all the cars.
Yeah, I want to talk to him a couple more times. He doesn't know I do YouTube yet, so I was
Yeah,
gonna talk to him and get to know him a little bit more before I do that.
I guarantee you, you go to that man and tell him you want to show people his cars, he will lose his fruit basket.
Mhm.
Like, absolutely. He'll stand there and talk to you about them. There's a reason he's got a whole junkyard full of Corvairs. He always wanted one.
Mhm. But he's got a building with stacks of engines and heads, and it's all Corvair specific. But actually, that's where I got
This is your
this a tail
video.
light.
Cool. I spent months crawling around junkyards all over the southeast hunting for a brow ridge, like the little extension for the front end of the 69 El Camino. They have the
Yep.
extended brows with the double headlights.
Mhm.
I'm missing one little tiny tidbit of freaking chrome over here, and it drives me absolutely ape shit every time I look at it. And I have been through half the junkyards in Georgia. I mean, and I don't mean like went through their online inventory. I went to the junkyard and walked around poking at stuff with a pool stick, trying like moving the lid and stuff out of the way
Uh-huh.
to make sure that's a 62 Malibu, not a 69. Okay. This one, that one, every single car, just in case. That's the kind of dedication it takes, if you're going to do something like that.
Mhm.
When I was growing up, I guess this really started when I was about 15 or 16. I got old enough to care about cars. I had always worked with my dad rebuilding broken Chevrolets and for people. And that doesn't really translate over very well for most vehicles, honestly, because it's a Corvette. But when I turned about 15, I bought my first car for $50 out of somebody's backyard. And me and a buddy of mine fixed the freaking thermostat, which was the only thing wrong with it, put some freaking water in it, and we drove that thing till the engine blew. And we left it parked where the engine blew. Then my brother gave me a 91 Civic or something. I don't even know what it had no badging on it when I got it. I couldn't have told you what it was. I think it was a Mazda or something like that. We called it the Silver Bullet, but I put expanded steel over the windows like some Mad Max bullshit. and that's what I drove around for years. Until one morning I wake up to my mom. I'm hammered. I'm hungover. I'm so hungover. And my mom's standing over me just staring at me. I'm like, yes, ma'am. You need to explain something. Yes, ma'am. Come here. I walked to the door and looked. My car is sitting in the front yard on 3 wheels. The front left-hand spindle was completely gone. That whole transaction, the whole freaking thing was gone. And she's like, I think you need to go find the rest of your car. And I reached over and grabbed the truck keys, and she hit me with a damn spoon. Crack. No, you do not drive drunk. And then I understood why when I went outside, because you could have planted potatoes down that row that I had cut down that road all the way from the pavement. And I go up to the end of the driveway. She's like, now you walk and go find what's missing on your car. Yes, ma'am. I got about 10 feet, and my next door neighbor come by, pulls up, stops, gets out of his truck, stares at me, said, you have a good night? And then grabbed that whole spindle off the back of his truck, threw it in the ditch. Said, I bet you had a hell of a night. I have no idea. I still can't remember exactly what happened. I don't know. I know I wasn't allowed to drive that car. I had to put the spindle back on it. We sold it to some kid that was going to turn it into a dune buggy. I mean, that was one of the things I would do if I needed money. I would go find some random junk car that didn't smell burn up. Looked like all the pieces was there, and spend an hour or two trying to crank it up. We get it crunk up. We'd go steal some tires to put on it for 20 minutes. And in doing that, I don't think I managed to get but 2 of those cars home before I sold them. In almost every case, between where I bought it and leaving the town it was sitting behind that guy's house in, somebody would chase me down and be like, how much do you want for that car? And I'd just name some pie in the sky number, because I just bought it for $85 and some Thunderbird wine, you know? Homie didn't ask much. Oh, no, dude. Do we put too much effort into our cars? I mean, as Americans, is that a cultural thing? Just my car?
Maybe. I mean, compared to I mean, you got Americans, but you also got Australians too.
Yeah, no. Australians are honorary Southerners. We honor them as.
I agree with that.
Some Russians. I mean, those out there dancing with bears, they get a pass. I promise you, they're rednecks. All right, so I got this thing I do. I showed it to you earlier so you wouldn't get weirded out by it, because some people do. And everybody else knows what's fixing to happen. But they also know I can't find it.
You know about cars? Yes, I'm a paleontologist. Oh, it's okay. There's dynamite in this bag too. I am a paleontologist. I'm a paleontologist. Paleontologists study really old stuff. Like crackers.
Because bad movies are funny.
All right, so 61 Corvair, you pretty much just started off with the base, because you haven't even really vacuumed it out real good yet. Have you found anything interesting in it, or have you already owned it long enough that you knew all the weird stuff?
No, I just actually gathered up all the interesting things that I found. So, and I was digging through it today too. We just found I found an old penny from 1944.
Oh, there you go.
I found a remnants of a rental car contract.
Oh, wow. Hey, Tails, welcome in. Good to see you.
Old Looney Tunes bookmark.
Oh, wait, hold on. Let me show that one. Oh, wow. That's not going to be restored there, brother.
No. Beer bottle.
Bottle. That's a pony, dude. When I was a little kid, there used to be a whole stack of them things over here behind the bank. I live in a really small town. Oops. The pipe?
Pipe, yep.
That might be restorable. You should find the right YouTuber for that.
Mm-hmm. And what else?
That's the really cool thing about YouTube, is out there is a channel that wants to polish that, and another one who wants to 3D print a fix.
And there's Salem.
Oh, dude, that's early 80s, bro. Was that thing was still riding around in the 80s?
I think it was parked in the 80s.
Oh, probably a little bit of hug and snug going on in the back seat.
Baseball.
Dear Lord, God knows how old that thing is. Oh, wow. Cool. That's so cool, dude.
But
That is,
that's the main things I found in it. That and a bunch of rat nests.
yeah, well, I mean, you'd expect that. I mean, why isn't that playing? Once you do through the whole shebang, I was pulling apart a Jeep one time, and it had been trashed out by a train. The front end was shot, and when we were pulling the back end apart, I found $4 silver with holes drilled through them, used to hold in a bushing. And the bushing was nothing I had ever seen before. It was some kind of weird, I swear it looked like fire engine hose, right? Like that really hard hose stuff. And somebody made a temporary bushing that apparently lasted until this thing got killed by a train. Like, oh Lord. Yeah, that Cracker Jack box is serious, man. That's some deep lore. I wonder if it doesn't matter. You might have got a decoder ring in that thing. One of them little compasses, a cricket click. I mean, those things went well up into the mid 70s. You know, you found that under the back seat, right? That Cracker Jack box lives there. That's where it belongs. If I was you, when I finish it, I want you to put that Cracker Jack box right back under the back seat. Just say nothing about it. I'm sorry. There might be something wrong with me. I'm not sure. Ooh, let's see what we got here. Are we going to see it? Are we going to see it? Yes, maybe.
Yes, eventually.
Good God, MVTV. How many times are you going to change your name this month? Or how many freaking accounts do you have? I know that's you. You can't lie to me and tell me that's not you. It's got to be you. Maybe not. I don't know. No. Who else would come in talking about Dr. Seuss? There was an early 1940s GMC that was chopped up and reassembled into a mobile bell hoist that looks like something straight out of Dr. Seuss. If that's not MVTV, I don't have any idea who it is. It's got to be. Well, obviously the prize is missing from the box. It's probably been back there forever. From the dawn of time it came, right? How far are you going to try to do any type of updates to it?
I'm probably going to send I found a company that takes a original AM radio, and they'll basically redo the guts and put Bluetooth and update that. I'll probably do that because I really like the original radio.
There's a secondary way to go about that. You can just, since it's Bluetooth, you can mount it wherever the heck you want. You can put it in the bonnet or something like that, and you can just run it with the remote.
Yeah.
That's another option. You can keep the original dashboard and everything. You can even have a couple of speakers up there, turn it on and see what you can tune in, but don't expect much out of it.
No, I'm not.
Then you can put your boomies up front.
Yep. I'm probably going to upgrade and put OK speaker system in it. I'm not going to go anything real crazy.
I found a really cheap 10-inch subwoofer. I say cheap, it's a Alpine, but I mean the dude was like moving to Texas or something. He couldn't take it with him. I got it for like $25. John,
oh wow!
And, it's just the right size to fit behind the two seats in that El Camino, barely. Yeah. Put me a big old 10-inch subwoofer back yonder. I got 2 6x9s to put back in the door. And I got 2 little dashboard tweets because, you know, some of those cars actually had the speakers up there and some didn't actually have speakers in the little vents.
Yep.
They were just vents. They look like speaker vents. They weren't. They were just vents for whatever vents, I guess. But I was thinking about putting a couple of tweets up there just because they're there.
Yeah.
Let it roll that way. I got all the crap to do it with, but like I said, until I know what I'm going to do with that engine,
Mm-hmm.
So how many how much luggage you reckon you could fit in that bonnet? Can't call it a trunk, can we?
You can.
Is it-
I call it a trunk. It's a trunk.
All right.
Some people call them frunks. I think I've heard that before.
That's pretty good. I prefer the English term of bonnet. Sounds like a party. Pity I wasn't invited.
Was it a bonnet or a boot?
Buy a boot. I like that one too. That's pretty good. Big boot. That's decent. This predates power steering, don't it? Isn't this like a ball and pinion or something like that?
No, they had power steering back then, but the Corvairs never had it because they didn't need it.
Light front end, right?
Yep.
You don't weigh nothing, so it's still just the power of your arms.
Yep.
And
but you can turn it like I can get in the car right now and turn the wheel left to right, and you could about do it with your pinky.
Right. I drove a Corvair bitty moons ago when I was fucking 10 or 12. And I remember thinking, like, it felt like it turned too sharp because it was kind of squatted on the back end because the shocks were shot. And the front end, like, the shocks were still brand new. I mean, there was never any weight up there to start with. So, where's the gas tank on this beast?
It's basically in between your feet and the trunk.
Okay, I got you. So it's where the mid-engine would be if it was a mid-engine.
No, it's where the engine would be. It's basically where the firewall would be on a normal car.
Oh, between your feet and the trunk. I'm still got the trunk in the back.
You're backwards, man.
I'm backwards as hell. Okay. Yeah, no, wait, right. No. Bonnet. Have you decided on a color yet, or are you going to throw a dart at a wall for that?
I'm probably going to end up throwing a dart on the wall. I'm probably going to get a couple samples made and then go from there.
There you go. I tell you something I really like doing. Go back and look at what it came in originally, and then go to the because almost all of them had your usual colors that your plebes could pick, and then you had your express colors that are done by GMC or done by Chevy or whatever the name on it. You could probably find you a solar yellow, or I'm thinking a beautiful sky blue, man. Some white wall tires on that thing. Chrome and all polished chrome in all the right spots, dude. That is a work of freaking art. Looks like a spaceship. It needs a freaking mullet, dude. You got to get you some pink fuzzy dice to hang from the mirror.
Well, obviously.
Yeah. Cool part is this all there too. Like, the things that are missing because they rotted off, not because they're gone. Like, you can count the threads and make sure you got all of it out. When you decide to break that thing loose, man, you're probably going to end up having to take like a Shona tractor pull bar, like some for real stanky stank, and put you a long pull bar on it and cheat with it, and just bounce it. Go by it every few days and just hang your weight off of it. Don't break it. Just jigga, and eventually those oil rings will slip. And the second they slip, you'll knock yourself in the head with that cheat bar, and it'll just roll over fine after that. Although you will, of course, want to be changing oil pretty freaking quick. I haven't had to resuscitate but one or two of them from frozen. And I've never really had a problem with it once you got it to move. That was the thing. I had two that didn't move. Right.
Yeah.
I never got them to do nothing but bounce around. I had one, I think it was an old Judge. What's up, Sunshine? Welcome in. Good to see you. And it was all froze up, and the guy sold it to me for, I think it was a motorcycle, old Yamaha I had. We traded that in like $150. Threw it on the trailer, brought it home. I set everything up out there, got it set up, got all the oil and everything, and overfilled it with oil, the whole nine. soaked it. I'm talking every day for 6 or 8 months. I went out there and did pull-ups on that damn bar. Just before I go to work, I just go do 10 pull-ups on it, get in the truck, go to work, come home, do 10 pull-ups on it, and go back inside. I mean, bouncing it.
Yeah.
No, I never got nothing to move on it. I eventually sold it for $50 and what it was worth in scrap. But no, because when I couldn't get that subject loose, but nobody else willing to take a chance on it. There's just like, oh no. Because it sat there for a better part of a year, me beating on it, snatching on it. I eventually sold all the parts off of it, just scrapped it. I couldn't do anything with it. Yeah. Shot. I don't know what was stuck, but it was seriously stuck. And I wasn't about to rip it apart to find out. I didn't care enough, you know.
Oh, yeah.
It was a beautiful car, though. It was so sad watching them tow it up on the back of that truck going, I wish I had the energy and the time. I was working 12-hour days at the time, 7 days a week. I just did not have the time or energy to deal with it. My parents was like, it can't stay there much longer. And I was like, had a 68 Cadillac hearse. That thing didn't even make it to the house. What's that thing running? Like a 455 rocket? Something like that. Like that thing was unreal, dude. You lean on that thing, you could hear the butterflies open up under the hood. Pink. Woo. Like that hot rod Lincoln.
Well, yeah, I grew up working on Chevrolets mostly. My dad had a lot of old C10s and Novas and stuff when I was growing up. But he's still got a C10. He's got a 69 C10, and he's done so much to that truck, it's not funny. It doesn't look like it, but man, it's crazy.
I know where 2 of those are. Both of them parked behind somebody's house. Both of them swear they're going to fix them up. Swear it. And it is a slide ride. Anybody who's not familiar with the what wasn't that the Cheyenne, the old Cheyenne models?
Yep.
Old C10 GMCs, and I can't remember what they were in the Chevy model. They were a little different. Those old step sides, man, they're beautiful, beautiful, beautiful. That's art in motion, not.
Yeah.
I mean, people beat them up, dude. These things are trashed out, and it's like, God, how could you use that for loading freaking pigs, man? How do you get from, that thing was like this beautiful teal color, polished, so shiny, you could just fingerprints everywhere, and you took it to a farm. You loaded a bunch of sheet steel on the back of it and trashed that thing out. It's so sad. Okay, so let's say tomorrow you won the lottery and you could send that car to anywhere in America that you're aware of. Where would you send it? Oh,
man. I don't know that I would do that.
Ah, good man. That was a trick question. If you accepted that, I'd send mine off. I'm not going to lie. I'd send it right back to Gas Monkey Garage if I could find them.
Like, there's a couple other cars I would probably send off, but I don't know that I could send this one off.
Right, I'll blame you a bit. But your damn show retire, start working on it, boy, right?
Yeah,
I hear you. Ooh. See you later, Yin Yang. Good to see you. Appreciate you coming by. MBTV, can you explain why you change your name so often? Because it's very confusing. See, because he has a way of writing. There's a 1950s all-crop harvester left out in the field. Looks like it was a drive shaft to harvester part problem, but has a separate tractor unit that looks like it can be fired up with a little work. Yeah, no, I told you, man, that thing will run. That whole farm is just sitting there ready to go, dude. They shut it down. It didn't break. None of that stuff is broken. It's all just sitting there. And watch your damn step, because there's probably about 13 wells out there that you are unaware of. Be real careful. He's on what was basically an old ranch, like a pre-antebellum ranch, like old school ranch with little villages around it. Yeah. And I think he's got the wrong layout plan in his head. I've watched almost everything he's put up on the walks around that place, and Like some really weird conversations have taken place. Like he'd show me a pile of brush, and I'd be like, if you go over there, look on this on the north side of whatever that is, you'll find a probably a box that's got some crap in it because people did things a certain way back then, and that's where you keep your shaving implements or what the fuck ever, because that would be the side that you could see best, and you carry your razor and your stuff out, sit down on a box and shave in the good sunlight. I know it sounds nuts, but people are creatures of habit.
No, it doesn't.
Given that this place was closed down, right? Everybody left. It wasn't a situation where a fire showed up and destroyed everything. They closed everything up. They put everything away. There's like a little cabinet over there with the roof caved in, or it's still got cans of stuff in the cabinet. Everything was put away. Every piece of that farm is still sitting there. If some industrious young man wanted to show up and have about 15 people come help him, he could crank that thing up and start making a profit. But it's going to take about 15 people and some major, major construction, like the ability to actually get into engines and fix them, because it's all there. It just needs to be operational, and that's going to be the hard part. 10 Mile was getting redundant. Croft is an old name for farm. Yeah. Cold Creek comes in, so had to pick something, right? Yeah, no, that ranch was probably established long before that, but was actually noted in 1883 on a document somewhere. Because it is a very classic layout that is just it's a stunning place. He's in like Montana or Wyoming or some trash. He's out there, dude.
Yeah.
This past winter, when he got snowed in, he went a little stir crazy and made a movie with the worst camera ever made, man. You get my freaking respect on that one, dude. I would never touch that Vivitar. You couldn't pay me to use a Vivitar. How long ballparking this whole process? Let's make a few basic assumptions, right? And none of this may hold true. Are you going to have to rebuild your rims and like hubs and bearings and all that stuff? Or do you reckon they're okay?
They're probably okay, but I'm probably going to repack everything and just go through it, do a solid once over.
I did it to mine. I'm not going to lie. I pulled everything that anywhere two things touch, it either got greased up and put back together or had the proper bushings put back in. I installed a rear sway bar, the whole nine, dude. I put everything on it. Everything. But right before I parked it, it popped a wheelie. It's part of the reason why I parked it. I was trying to pull out of a Walmart parking lot, and there's just a little bit of a hill. And the carburetor on that thing, she sometimes double bubble a little bit occasionally. And I went to pull out, that sucker caught freaking traction and just picked, it was already going uphill. It just picked that front end up, and my brother pooped himself. Started cussing at me. And he's like, you got to take me home. I got to go home right now. I was like, dude, it's just a little hop. Calm down. He's like, no, we got to go. We got to go right now. And then I smelled it. I was like, oh yeah. Okay. I can't blame you. I kind of sucked the seat up in my butt a little bit myself. Suddenly I couldn't see nothing. There might be a little too much stanky in that engine, dude. I'm not joking. I really need to take the top end off of it and tune that thing down. It's ridiculous. Well, I mean, assuming the engine is recoverable, didn't those things come with a turbo on them?
So not in this year. It was only some of them that did. If you see Spider, the ones that say Spider are the ones that had the turbo on the early models. The other ones were the, what was it? Corsa, I think is what they were called for the late models. Right. And you could either get the 140 or which wasn't a turbo, and then it was the 180, which was the turbo.
And flat six you've got in there, it's basically and I know I'm pretty sure the Iron Duke was Ford, but it was basically a Chevy version of that thing, just a romping, stomping 6-cylinder to turn the wheels. How much horsepower do you expect to pull out of it, give or take?
well, if I leave it completely bone stock, it's rated for 80, but I'm probably going to try and I might put a little bit of hotter cam in it, but nothing crazy.
Right.
Like something where I can just drive around town. If I get 100 horsepower out of it, I'll be happy.
Well, that's what I was fixing to say. Once you play with your cam and you tinker with your carburetor and everything, take a good look at your while you're in there mucking around with that stuff. Take a real good look at your rods and arms and stuff. Make sure they're good and solid. You might be able to put a cheap turbo on it, pull you about 110, 115 horsepower out of it. And not even stressing it too hard, assuming there's nothing wrong. I mean, if there's anything wrong, all of that's out the window.
Mm-hmm.
It don't take but one severely seized valve to completely end this whole conversation. Yeah, I hate to be the bearer of bad news, but that's the way it is.
Oh, yeah. Talking to some of the Corvair guys, they said the engine that I have is actually pretty good for not dropping valve seats. Because a lot of them, they say, will drop valve seats, especially the 140s. But,
yeah, I've read something about valve seats, about the valves themselves deforming a hair, and I don't know what they mean by that. It's just something I read. I never saw a picture of it or nothing, so I don't know. I'm assuming the valve seat fell and then the valve failed.
Yep.
You know what I'm saying? Like I'm assuming it's doing that weird arched cup thing, or maybe just off centering or something. I don't know. Oh, bother. Smoking auditor. Watch your fingers in that little phone. Get a bigger phone. He accidentally popped somebody, deleted a message. Let's see it. What did you delete? Oh my God, dude. How do I fix that? I would like to show that. Hold on, I can do it over here. There we go. All right. Everybody's happy now, right? Ain't nobody all right, so one of the main differences, wait a second. Is that thing air cooled?
Yeah.
I thought so. How does that work? What the hell?
Well, basically, no radiator because they're cooled, but they put a giant fan on top of the motor and did the wildest belt you've ever seen.
Yeah, no, I remember that belt. It's absurd. Okay, I'm assuming you've looked into replacing the block, heads, everything that might need to replacing. Let's say everything is shot. It's all broken. There's nothing salvageable. What kind of a price tag are you looking at just to replace?
Just the engine?
Just the engine. The components attached directly to the block.
The most expensive way I can do it is to have there's a guy out in, I think, California, and there's another guy in Pennsylvania, and they sell like long blocks, and it's like $4 or $5 grand.
Yeah.
But like I'm figuring 2.
7 to 10 on this thing. Yeah. I hope so, dude. I really want to see that thing ride around. I really hope like your YouTube blows up and they pay you to freaking fix it. That'd
be awesome. Because I'm gonna tell you right now, every dime would go back into this car.
Dude, I've looked around. There ain't but about 4 channels out there that have done Corvair work on camera.
Yeah.
The ones that did it typically show it to you after the fact. You don't get to see any of the pre. It's just like, oh, by the way, I bought a Corvair and did all this work.
Yep.
And then they tell you what to do. Don't tell, show. You've got it. Don't you have a few shorts up?
I think I have a couple. Or no, they're not shorts, but I haven't posted them as shorts because I couldn't edit them. I hadn't figured that out yet.
All right. Take your cell phone or your wife's cell phone or your brother's or whoever. Go to your channel on your phone. Go to your video on your channel as you, right? And hit the remix button at the bottom, and you can clip 60 seconds, and you can choose what part of the screen you center for the short. And so even if you're a little sloppy on your camera work, you can usually work it out. It'll work real well for the type of stuff you do.
Nice.
If you're wanting to do just some interesting musical type shorts, you could do the basic fly around, where you just film 30 seconds of angles of car and then go find some music to put to it. You can use the remix feature for that too. It's really handy once you get the hang of it, for using it to manipulate the algorithm from your own channel.
Yeah.
Because there's 3 different algorithms that work on YouTube. There's your shorts algorithm, which is obscene and retarded. Then there's your short video algorithm, which is anything over a minute but below like 20 minutes or something like that. I'm not sure exactly where the cutoff point is. And then there's quote unquote long form content algorithm. And depending on which one of those you land in determines what you kind of got to hit the buttons, you know?
Yeah.
Shorts really like hashtags, clever titles, but not too clever. And if you can put a beautiful woman or a fantastic car in the scene, that'll also work for the thumbnail, because you don't get to choose the thumbnail on your shorts. It just picks it. Algorithm picks it for you. So right. Beer break for make stupid people famous. Hold up. We gotta hold up for that. That's a totally different thing. For After Dark, this in about 4 minutes, we're gonna go to After Dark. When we do that, I have some casual geographic about honey badgers, which is hilarious. It's why they fear neither man nor God nor a lion. If you don't know what happens if a honey badger is bitten by cobra, he eats the cobra and takes a nap. God's honest truth. He doesn't even wake up with much of a hangover. When he wakes up, he finishes eating the cobra. Like, wow. Then we've got when goofy ass looking criminals go wrong from They Will Kill You, and the horrific crimes of Ed Gein. Are you familiar with Ed Gein?
No.
All right, so Ed Gein was a mid-30s serial killer who has an untold number of kills to his name. The Texas Chainsaw Massacre with Leatherface wearing the skin of his victims, and Wild Bill from Silence of the Lambs were both loosely based off of Ed Gein. He literally made lampshades and comforters and pillowcases and stuff out of the skin of his victims. He was a talented tanner. And I used to have a buddy of mine in a different chat before I became Caucasian Sasquatch, who always came in as human lampshade of some description. 50 different names, but all of them were related to human lampshade. And I'm like, good Lord, you've read too much. All right, so hypothetically speaking, if you woke up tomorrow and had 10,000 subscribers, let's say you make a short and it goes big, right? Would you immediately monetize and try to break that stuff down, or would you just ride free for a little while without being constrained? Because your content is not going to have copyright problems, provided you don't use the wrong music. And I can hook you up with a whole list of copyright-free music that you can just jam to your heart's content. It's not great, but it is copyright free.
Yeah.
Right. When we go to After Dark, I'll go into the whole different programs I use to do all of this madness and stuff, and all the stupid videos I do, and the sound programs and all that stuff. And you don't need to know all of that. You really don't. In your case, all you're really going to need to know is basic camera operation, basic sound, and the ability to take one bit of video out from between two other bits of video that you want to actually be there to get the fluff out. And one thing I'd like to stress, don't forget the fact that about 9% of any particular channel subscribers would show up to live streams. Even if you don't literally do nothing but drink a cup of coffee and talk to the chat. I'm dead serious. I know you don't believe me. And if you started doing it, you might get 1 or 2 people in there. But give it time. Keep doing your videos. Add a few shorts, and you'll make out like a bandit, I swear. Everybody wants to see that car be an absolute gem. I promise you. Just stick to it. Don't give up. I know it's extra work. You go out there and you're like, well, I'm going to clean this panel or whatever. Shit, I should probably get the camera out. My suggestion, go looking into a GoPro or something like that can stand being in the elements that you just set up out there and can kind of leave sort of in place. It doesn't have to be, static per se, but something you can move around and drop and bump around and not really sweat it getting too terribly damaged. Don't spend too much money on it, of course. Don't be like some people and go spend $3,000 on a camera and then drop it in your engine. I've seen things like this happen, and that is a soul crushing thing. So check out eBay, check out Amazon, get you a cheap GoPro that has it would be nice to have 1080, but whatever. It's a car. We all know what cars look like. Doesn't matter if it's half as many pixels. It'll be all right. Just anything above like 720. 720 is the bottom, man. Like, don't let them take you out like that. Anything else? Thumbnails. Have you figured out thumbnails yet?
I played with them a little bit. I've been using Canva. That's how I've been making most of them.
Is it Capture or Canva?
Canva.
Okay. I've got some programs that'll help with most of that stuff. About half of it I do it on my phone. As far as videos and stuff, my shorts is almost all done on my phone unless I want a particular thing that can't be had legally. And then I'll straight poach it. I'll absolutely pirate a scene if I want it. I have no complaints about that. No problem. They want to copyright claim it. That's fine. And all of it runs fairly smoothly. It generally runs separately from each other. And so you don't have to have your OBS up and running to run your shotcut and vice versa. So they're all free. Even the sound programs and stuff, they're all free. Everything's free. The only thing I pay for really is YouTube Premium, and that's so I can play the videos without there being commercials. Yeah, because you ever killed a show with a commercial? Oh, look, an unskippable ad. Great. I can't wait. So here's the way this goes. I've got a little play out. I haven't put in my short play out. I've got one that I'm working on. I just haven't done it yet. What's up, Flow State? I am not leaving. This is not the end. I want to be clear about that. I'll be right back with the whole After Dark segment where we're going to go through all this stuff. And if you would like to stick around, that is absolutely excellent. You're welcome to. If you've got something you need to go do, you're absolutely free to do that. You got anything you want to tell everybody before we step out of the Sasquatch Shills aspect?
Just come check my channel out. It's Unloved Garage. It's on YouTube. I have Facebook and Instagram. It's all Unloved Garage. And,
absolutely.
What else? If you want to email me, it's unlovedgarage@gmail.com.
Yeah, no, that's brilliant, by the way. I meant to put that in the ticker, but I haven't even done the ticker at all. Let's do some ticker action. Remember, adopt a hater today. Remember, never feed a troll you do not intend to keep. Haters can be your best PR. Sasquatch Shills, so you don't have to. Make sure y'all go get subscribed to this man, because if you don't, age ought to come haunt you in your sleep. We're not trying to be better than anyone else. We simply want to be high yield mediocre and aggressively average. Oh, y'all crazy crackers have given me 2,700 subs. Did you know that? Absolute mad lads. That's happened recently. Like I was just doing 2,500 the other day. I like it. Y'all keep going with it. And when you get to his channel, you tell him Sasquatch sent you because he doesn't know who I am, and it'll tickle me and confuse him. I might have been doing this a little bit too long, Joe. So that's my email down there. If anybody has interesting content, if you've got an interesting bicycle you want to rebuild, if you're doing a knitting show, if you're fighting bears in the wilderness, I want you to film it. Actually, don't do that, but film it and send it to me, or at least call me and let me interview you while you do what it is you're doing. Right? You ever met a goblin?
No.
I wouldn't expect you to have. I'd never met a goblin until one came on the show. Let's do this play out, and then I'll tell you all about it. I appreciate everybody coming in. This is not the end of the show, but it is the end of the show, and so I'm going to end the show with the press of a button over here. It's almost like a form of magic that I've learned to.
Sorry. Good news, though. We're going to have to move the party somewhere a little bit more private, but you're all invited. Lorenzo will give you the details. Yeah!
Step one.
We're not going all the way down that. I'm not even trying to do that. So would you rather do the full After Dark treatment? Or hey, Izzy, welcome in. You missed the Sasquatch Shills part, but we're still doing the rest of this stuff. And as soon as I can find the right button, I'll push it and we'll get to where we're going on all that. Right. That there, this here. Hey, Mitch, welcome in. Did I miss you earlier? I'm sorry. Let me link this. Place pin message. We're going to end the poll and see where that ended up. Oh, okay. That's fine. That's fine. Most people know that is a rear engine vehicle. I was torn. I couldn't remember if that was the 61 or not. I walked around all day today going, nah, it was the 70. It was the later one. No, it was the earlier one. Now, one of them's a mid-engine. I'm almost certain.
Nope, all of them are rear engine.
Well, then what was the mid-engine model that was around that time? Was it what was it? There was something that was running a mid-engine in that time frame, and I thought it was there a Corsair? Maybe. I know Chevrolet didn't have any mid-engine. They didn't do nothing even remotely mid-engine until hell, that was Pontiac. Actually, that was that the Fiero? Yep. Dude, that GT Fiero was mean. It's too bad they killed that car. They ruined it, dude. It could have been an awesome vehicle, but they just straight up ruined it. The bean counters killed the Fiero. Those bastards. The only other mid-engine car I can think of is Porsche 914. Yeah. Well, no, there was I'm not sure if they would be real mid-engine cars. The GNX does like a slack engine design. That thing's sitting right next to you, like almost between you and the thing. And if you look at it from the outside and you're like, oh, it's a Buick. Right. But then when you actually sit down in it and crank that thing up and your whole seat is sitting on one of them 8 cylinders and you can just feel it. And it's not loud. It's not unbelievably loud. It's just a little loud. But dear God, that thing will scat, son. Woo. And it's funny to me because that was done during a time period when they were running all kinds of lean engines. Right. So like your 61 shouldn't have this problem. You can just pour the fuel to that thing and it won't care. But when you start carrying into like the mid 70s on into like the early 80s, you start getting these weird lean run engines where you have these huge cubic displacements and no horsepower, like none. You've got a 455 rocket over here in a block that pushes, 125 horsepower, just enough to push that Eldorado on down the road. I probably just crossed all my freaking models up right there. But you know what I'm trying to say.
Mm-hmm.
And then at the same time, on the other hand, they're also making things like the early Corvette blocks. Like some of those things were absolutely unreasonable. and we got people nowadays putting superchargers and turbos on those things, and I'm just like, good God, man. I mean, I covered a truck the other day that had taken I think it was a 68, 60. It was one of the C models. It was one of those sleek ass, shiny ass step sides with the curved windows, all those wonderful, not quite lines, if you know what I mean, rounded in every aspect. Oh, they're beautiful. Yep. And he had put a Coyote supercharged Coyote engine in it and made it run on hydrogen. So imagine this, right? You're having to supply the hydrogen and the oxygen to run this thing and applying it in a supercharger. So a 700 horsepower engine makes 285 horsepower. That's still nasty if you think about it. I mean, that truck don't weigh nothing. It ain't nothing but a bit of sheet steel and some rivets. It ain't nothing there. Let's see. All right, are you familiar with Casual Geographic?
No.
All right, so Casual Geographic is a dude who is, I think he's actually like a zoologist or something, but he comments on rare, unusual, unexpected animals doing rare, unusual, and unexpected things. Pretty much got famous on TikTok, moved over to YouTube. He's a funny dude.
Honey badgers are the most disrespectful force in nature, and that's putting them over orcas. Because at least when an orca shot puts a seal, you can argue it's just testing a new hunting strategy. But honey badgers will look for negativity in situations where they have nothing to gain. Why would a honey badger test an oryx 10 times its size, get launched only to immediately do it again? Because honey badgers come into the world deciding they don't want peace, they want problems. They don't want compromise, they seek conflict. If orcas are homicidal sea Oreos, then honey badgers are double stuffed with audacity. If I ever make a list of the top 5 animals with black Air Force energy, honey badgers would be a first ballot choice. But like any kid that acts out in school, to really understand just what makes a honey badger such a one-man hate campaign, you gotta look at its family. When you talk about mammalian carnivores, you can really simplify it into 2 classes, Team Cat and Team Dog. Team Cat would be feliform, which translates to cat-like carnivores, which would obviously include wild cats, but also cats that aren't really cats like hyenas, mongooses like the meerkat, and a bunch of other animals you've probably never heard of. On the other side is Caniformia, which are the dog-like carnivores. This includes dogs, wild, unhinged dogs, dogs on steroids, smaller but more street-smart dogs.
Yes, this includes a bear, right? And while I don't know if we have legitimate badgers in North America. If we do, I've never seen one. But we have this thing called a wolverine, which is like what would happen to a badger if you gave it some PCP and turned it loose in Florida. Because these things are mean, dude. And like I've seen footage of one of them. A grizzly bear killed a deer, and then a wolverine comes running out of the snow, runs straight up to that grizzly bear, a half ton or a ton or more, 800, 900 pound grizzly bear, just plowed right into the side of it. Bam! Bit it about twice, started scratching, and that bear ran away. And the wolverine ate that kill, ate as much as he could eat, and pooped right on top of it and left. And I'm sorry, I don't want none of that. No, sir. I don't want no part. But bears, dogs, bears, well, of course, wolves, dogs, bears, raccoons, and mongoose, and not the ocelot, the damn thing that eats the coffee berries in South America. That thing, the civet or whatever, are all part of the same general taxonomic family, and it shares space with the badger, and yet none of them got anything for it. What's up, Smoking Auditor? You know I gotta see your ugly mug first. There he is. Hey, he's got.
Say hi, Gizmo.
There's Gizmo. The kitty.
The cat. I have two cats.
That's 50 views. We can get them both on screen at the same time. I'm sorry. YouTube. I'm a little autistic. This guy right here in Smoking Auditor, he never wanted a single subscriber, and I've gotten him up to what?
Just past 400 now.
Yeah, I keep messing around.
Let me explain this. I'd much rather sub 2 people than have subscribers.
That's
but
what she
I found out if you have more subscribers, you can sub to more people without YouTube kicking them off your thing.
What kind of stuff do you generally watch on YouTube? Unloved? I call you unloved because I love you, man.
That's a lot of I watch a lot of car stuff and a lot of military stuff.
Let me guess. Vice Grip
right.
Girl.
Yep.
Let me see. Oh, schoolie channels. Do you look at any bus channels? No. Check into some of that. It's these people are doing amazing things with buses. Like some of it's completely ridiculous. Like there's this dude down in South Florida who has somehow managed to put a stack of turbos on an old ripped out bus, and he's just out there jumping it over hay bales and stuff. If you've never seen a bus fly, it doesn't look right when it does. Crazy stuff. Ooh.
I don't know, but I just watched Mr. Beast stack school buses the other day on his Second Shorts channel. He got up to like 4 of them.
They started caving in on themselves?
No, they fell over.
Oh, wait, just one stack of buses, not like a box of buses?
Like actual school buses, full-size school buses.
Yeah, I'm aware, but he
bought
didn't
10 of them in a crane.
I say we could get at least 4 high that way. I'm telling you, we get at least 4 high, no problem. You park them in a V, and you put the first bus over the top of the cab where the most of the structure is, and then you set the second bus right behind it and hope it don't crush it. And then you set the third bus right on top of it, and the fourth bus directly on top of it. That way, you don't lose all of your structural stability just on having all your engines on one end. You can.
He was doing that. One engine was one way, the other one was the other way, but when they dropped the second or third bus, it went off and rolled off the first one.
Somebody didn't like the brakes. You should have welded them axles, bro. There was nothing moved before. You don't give me a challenge like this. It's not safe. What's up, truth be told? Good to see you, bud. Welcome here. It's one of my very early guests. He had 500 subscribers when I hosted him. He's sitting at like, what is it, 29 now, bro? You can send me some love if you wanted to, you know. You can just I'm picking on him. He's good, folks. Polka Fest 2023. Be there. Okay. Why? Are you gonna be there? What's up, Toby? Welcome back. Good to see you. I didn't really expect him to come back. Toby gets the participation trophy for the night. Congratulations, Toby. Somebody share that man's
Water dogs have decided they had enough of the nonsense and disrespect of the dirt world, and we're going to take their chances out in the ocean. Results have been varied. But you also have another family known as the Mastilidae Squad, and they were kind of in a weird spot. They weren't the biggest, definitely weren't the fastest, not the smartest, and for the most part they're solitary, meaning they rarely have a numbers advantage. So their only real option was to overcompensate the way anyone that overmatched would, with violence and borderline crackhead courage. If mustelids like honey badgers ran in groups, they probably wouldn't need the personality of a power tool to survive. Because gang violence may be unethical, but in the wild, it's a way of life. It's the reason African wild dogs are one of the most efficient groups at canceling life subscriptions. Because team play is high-key underrated. Ants are probably the best used social insects in the game, and it's almost scary how well they work together. Led by a queen who can almost check in at the same weight class as a mouse, ant society is built on a hierarchy where everyone has a job. Female ants are workers who can have tasks such as cleaning the eggs and feeding the larvae. Queen ants' job is to supply the ant census with new bodies by constantly spawning eggs, and some species can spit out over 800 in one day. Male ants have one job, and it's to supply the queen with baby batter and then exit the census once they fulfill that purpose. They have no rights, no free will. They're basically walking ejac packets. And if you ever wanted to know just what ant society is like, the Ants Underground Kingdom is a simulation strategy game with millions of players already online. You can hatch and develop your own ant army, including rare ones like the banshee ant, which is based on an actual insect that isn't really an ant, it's a type of wasp. You can also unlock new buildings like toxic fungi, gorgeous pearl, special nests, and more. Now here's the fun part. The ant armada includes guardian ants, shooter ants, and carrier ants.
To be clear, he is not selling a game. He is describing actual ants in game terminology. That wasn't an ad. I know it sounded like one.
It sounded a lot like an ad.
But you can't buy that game. It's just ants. You know, you've seen cow ants, right? Cow killers, they're called, bright orange. They're not actually ants. They're wingless wasps.
Mm-hmm.
You ever been stung by one?
I don't think I have.
Dude. All right, imagine a red wasp, but more angry. It ain't got no wings. It can't fly into your face, but if you're dumb enough to get close enough, it will feel like you got shot in the finger. It is unreal, and it lasts for like 2 or 3 hours, where wasp, it's like, ow, that really hurts, 10, 15 minutes later it's just a dull throb. This thing bugged me for a week, dude. Like for the first couple of hours, it was like seriously like, holy shit, my fingers swell up real big. I think he got me 2 or 3 times though. I don't think it was just one. What's up in NY Outcast? I don't stutter, not really.
That sounds like one of those bugs that just needs fire applied to it instantly. Just fire, flamethrower.
What's up? Making stupid people famous, bro.
Hey, what's happening, Captain?
I owe you an apology, sir.
Oh, just turning on lights, turning off lights, heading out to the camper.
There you, bud.
What's happening? Sorry I'm late to join, but I roll a bunch of cigarettes and grab some drinks and take care of the dogs.
That's called life, and I perfectly accept that as an actual excuse. It works. Also, being arrested is also okay.
I hope that don't happen no more.
So
but if it does, I hope you all watch the video because it's going to be gruesome.
I was watching the last time when the cops showed up asking for some dude.
Oh, yeah, you were watching during Thunder Rolls video? I'm surprised they didn't cut that out.
That was me. I was that guy. I tried to get some people in there. He had cops up in his yard asking for somebody, and he'd gotten to the point where the whole camera was starting to vibrate. He was getting nervous.
I was an idea, and they were fucking banging on my door. They said some wanted guy was out there at my place, and they've come back again. I didn't record that time because I didn't have my phone on me, and they were looking for him again.
Bad monkey.
Yeah, right now, my buddy's banging that one guy's old lady, my stepsister.
That's a totally different show. Let's talk about some badgers.
Plus, you can call on reinforcements in the form of scorpions and spiders. It's like Game of Thrones, but with ants. PvE-wise, you can run fades with
I guess he is selling a game.
And more.
He's just using real ants to do it.
Jesus. And then make friends with players from all around the world. And
well, he's got that one
at every turn because there's no church in the wild and hell is not a consequence. Make sure you download the Ants Underground Kingdom and use the redemption code to cash in on a bunch of benefits the game is offering just in time for the holidays.
I got to give
your army is the strongest one. But if you're a honey badger, the strongest army is always an army of one. Honey badgers be the Miralass because they don't ever give them, they just take them. And when I say it runs in a family, you can tell the honey badger took something from all of their cousins and made it theirs. We're going to get to those cousins, don't worry. But first, we got to talk about what makes honey badgers such a middle finger to the natural order. First is the fact that they're not indestructible, but damn it, they're pretty close. Honey badger skin is tough and resilient, able to withstand beasts.
Look at that. And homie don't care. He's just cruising. He's just chilling. He's like, digga, just walking along. Gonna go eat something else. Obviously just ate a porcupine. Did y'all catch that short I did with the raccoon and the brick?
Yes.
I had a chick chew me out in a live chat the other day about how I shouldn't be putting animals being harmed on YouTube, and I was like, well, what's the issue with it? This was a rabid raccoon attacking a group of small children. What else are you supposed to do with it? He didn't have a pistol, so he killed it with a brick. But I just want to know what level of Florida it is. That's my only question.
Ever fought a Wolverine with a honey badger?
Dude, I don't know if you could successfully catch both of them. You ever played Far Cry 5? Okay, Far Cry 5 has a hunting mode in it where you can go in and just straight up big game hunt or whatever. And in there is a honey badger. And that damn thing is virtually indestructible. What's up, Unindoctrinated? Good to see you. I'm not joking. The first 2 months of playing that game, after having encountered the honey badger in that game, I lived in abject fear that a honey badger was going to show up, because I'm loaded for bear. I'll take a grizzly at a heartbeat, but I can't find that damn badger to shoot it. It's going to kill me. And I'm going to shoot every bullet I own trying to hit it. And even if I do, it's not going to kill it. It's just going to make it real bad.
You want to see something crazy? Do you?
Yeah.
Okay, well, there was a bunch of ants going into this bucket where the rain falls in from the roof, and I sprayed it full of fucking spider spray and ant spray, because I got black widows around here. As you've seen, my hands fucked up from being fucked up by black widows. But this mouse jumps in it last night, and there he is down in it.
Got to go over what you just said. You just said you got black widows everywhere because your hands just fucked up from being fucked up by black widows.
Well, they're everywhere around here.
Okay, so
I have to go through the ceiling every night.
Black widows have a neurotoxin. Brown recluses have a hemotoxin. A brown recluse bites you, it'll rot a chunk out of your skin the size of your head. And when a black widow bites you, you spend 72 hours in abject, torturous pain, or die. One or the other.
Well, I got the shot and everything. But my hands fucked up. My nose is fucked up from it. I can't bend them right, and they're twitching. They lock up and shoot veins down my arms. So it's been over 2 months.
But it's not a big old.
They said my hand would have rotted off if I didn't go.
I love the way you StreamYard freezes. It's great.
I shared some of the videos.
I have to go check that out. I've been digging through some. I found all right. And I'm trying to get the videos in the right order. There is an organization out in the deep, deep desert out in like Utah and New Mexico somewhere who have been releasing beavers. I know this sounds absurd.
Like the
with me. They managed to get it okay from a group of landowners about 200 or 300 miles long, right? And the landowners actually went out and like cut the invasive trees and let them plant certain types of like native trees and stuff. And then they brought in like there's just the tiniest trickle of water that was going through this little ravine. It was basically a washout. Every time it rained, it would flash flood. It was an absolute disaster area. Nobody could live over there. Yada yada yada. So they come through and they plant a few trees. They drop off a couple of beavers. The beavers take the cut trees, the invasive trees, and use them to make pieces of dams. And they weren't real successful at the whole thing. And eventually they died of old age, and they brought in some new beavers with new trees because the trees they've been doing this for 20 years. Is what I'm getting at. Now, no beaver just thinking like the beaver gulag over here. Like, these people, I mean, I know they're doing shit for the environment, but they are terrible people at heart. They really are. These are the same assholes who were Scottish beavers into like. That's a thing that happened. The U.S. Army spent time airdropping beavers to places like Alaska and the West Coast and stuff because the beavers were hunted out, and so they
was that 118th Airborne.
Go up.
I'm just wondering. My dad was a dam builder in the 118th, and I was just wondering, back in the 80s, he was building dams and blowing them as the cover for Run Drugs for Noriega. And are they fucking dropping beavers now because they already got that covered by some simpler men or what?
The idea behind it, I can't remember which air battalion it was that volunteered to do it, but a group of like hardcore homesteaders realized that their land was being washed away because back in the 1900s, all the beavers are wiped out, and there just are no beavers up there to replace them. Meanwhile, we have a glut of them. See, unindoctrinated says beavers are a menace because she lives in an area where beavers are plentiful, right? Like around here, we have beavers everywhere, and we export live beavers to other parts of the world for them to have beavers because they are a menace. You can lose half your property if one builds a dam in the right spot. Like, it's unbelievable. Overnight, dude, you can wake up with water in their floor going, what the hell just happened? All it takes is a little rainstorm for them to close a little sluice gate, and they're done. You're sunk.
See, now all I'm thinking about is I want a beaver hat, like the old raccoon hats. But made out of beaver.
Like a legitimate raccoon hat forever, like full on actually made of raccoon. When I was real young, I worked with a guy named Ellis something. I can't remember his last name. I was real young. I was like 7, 8, and 9. He used to take me out to go run trout lines and traps and stuff like that. And he's where I learned every single one of the traps I know how to do. I can roll in. I can roll into a swamp with a handful of corn and some hooks, and it's on like Donkey Kong, son. I'll eat like a king. We'll have a turducken before dawn.
You gotta catch a turkey in the swamp? Come on.
I will catch turkey, I will catch ducks, and I will catch virtually any other type of waterfowl. All I need is either a really floaty stick, preferably a plastic bottle. Give it a choice. What we got over here. Ooh. But is it really her? That's the question. Yep, it's her. Come on, function. Hello.
Hello.
How you doing?
I'm good. What do you mean, is it really me? Like somebody else is going to have access to my phones?
No, it's YouTube. It's YouTube, man. It's StreamYards. And if anybody knows how this is one of the reasons I don't put people's names up on screen so that somebody can't copy your name and just come in on your name, because almost everybody does a little different, you know? It's not usually directly a channel name. It's usually like mandatory carry come in as that mandatory carry asshole.
Yeah, as that guy.
Or screw me. Screw this guy. Yeah, no, he hates himself. Not me, but you. Okay, wait. I'm sorry. We have to depose Toby from having the participation trophy. We have a winner. Not me, but you.
Oh my gosh. Really? Really though? Really?
Congratulations. It means nothing.
I'm sure it doesn't.
It means absolutely nothing. And remember,
if
you support, just think happy thoughts.
What was that?
Sorry, I was saying what beavers are awesome. I was replying to the chat.
Yeah, I was like, I'm still stuck on the beaver.
Okay.
Moving along.
If you live in an area where beavers are plentiful, they are new to you, and you would do better not telling anybody about them and just shooting them. That's
wrong.
No. A beaver's worth about a $10,000 fine. 15 acres of property is worth paying a $10,000 fine.
For real.
Means legal for a price. Do the math on it. Yeah,
well, you just shoot the person that saw you shoot it. That's worth 10 grand.
So if you take beavers to a place in the world where they don't have beavers and you put beavers there, they're going to immediately be a nuisance. But if you're talking about places like, say, the Badlands, where nobody lives anyway, and you can't use it for nothing because it's the Badlands, the Scadlands. I mean, these are places, right? Just give them some beer, man.
I want a government grant.
I'm pretty sure, don't quote me on this, but I'm pretty sure beavers have some gland in their rear ends that's supposed to taste like vanilla.
Bullshit. I ain't even trying to hear that. You lie.
Government grant and a film crew.
Hold on.
Google it.
Oh no, he's right.
Google it.
Right. I forgot. Wombats have square poop. There.
Oh.
I was just waiting for someone to make a dirty comment about wearing beavers on their heads.
That's why I'm laughing. I hadn't said it yet. Damn it. Give me a second. I got a gland for its ass.
I'm suddenly regretting coming in here.
Unloved, I'm so sorry. I do apologize. These people have no decorum.
Man, it's all good. But I hate saying it, but I got to get going. I got to get to work tomorrow.
I appreciate it, brother. Every minute you spent. You're welcome back for any after dark you want to come up on, or don't, or just show up and chat, or don't watch anything I ever do. It's up to you. You have choices.
Free will.
I appreciate you coming in. I'll have the edited episode up in probably a week or two. I mean,
all right.
But thank you.
But yeah, good meeting y'all.
You too.
Y'all have a good one.
Mm-hmm.
Peace.
Sorry.
We're the night.
Hey, beavers don't like it. Good Lord, Emma, don't read the chat. Just don't even go there. I mean, really though.
Wrong beaver equals child support and penicillin. he has definitely earned the participation trophy.
Not me, but you. But really though, like I can't.
You're eating the wrong beaver part, smoking.
I must be.
It's like vanilla.
How's it, Emma? Just don't even entertain any of this.
Let me finish. Hold on.
No, I don't want you to finish. Look at that girl's eye. It's burning.
You're going to be carrying some money around in your pocket. You better bring me my money. Out of me. Anybody
like, I know before you say anything, go look. But I'm like, but she said it's burning, everybody.
Yeah, I know.
She didn't get punched.
No, she caught a shot.
Hello.
Somebody pulled a facial on that one.
Why are her eyes open though? That's what me and my homegirl was like. But why was your eyes open?
Camera.
Like you did you see it coming?
And bitch, don't blink. All right, about these badgers, David.
Stings, snake bites, and brutal maulings, that would certainly be a game over for other animals. You could even come at a honey badger with a machete, and it could still probably Eurostep any serious injury. There's even reports of these steroid skunks taking down African crested porcupines. The same ones that have about 30,000 good reasons why testing them could be really bad for your health. In really rare occasions, porcupines have crippled the top-tier lion so badly that hunting humans was their only option. In 1965, after a lion nicknamed the Man-Eater of Darajani was finally put out of commission, it was discovered that it had been gored by a blade beaver, with one of the quills being lodged in its fractured teeth and another one nearly piercing its brain. Maimed and out of options, the starving lion put at least one Kenyan on a t-shirt. That's the kind of carnage porcupines are capable of, yet honey badgers can often survive an encounter with one thanks to their tough skin. The same reason they can square up with snakes and then live to try again. Honey badgers are menaces that have been known to turn deadly serpents like the puff adder and even the black mamba into a purse. Common misconception.
This is an actual fact.
Oh, that's funny.
You do not pay.
If I see a black mamba turn into a purse by one of those, I'm going to give it like $20 for food, you know.
So I was
That's it.
Hold on. I was going into a convenience store the other day, and there's this old homeless dude standing outside. He asked me for $5. I gave it to him and went in, and the chick behind the counter looked me straight in the face and said, "You know, that man's not going to do anything but go and buy drugs with it. So I went out and gave him another $5 because what the fuck is he going to get for $5?
Right?
No, man.
Nothing.
Holy. See, I would have looked at her and be like, you think he can get drugs for $5? Let me go give him 20 so you can bring me back some.
Right? I'm like, let me just go out there and just, I'll be right back. I'm going to go with him.
Right.
There is nowhere. And if there is, then I promise you that drug dealer is not making money. Ain't no fucking way.
Let me tell you a little tip when it comes to making illicit money and laundering it. If you never receive it as cash in the first place, it can't be traced as cash until you make it cash, right? So
don't get me started on that, on cash.
No. Cash is one of those things that gets everybody because people think cash is the easiest way to carry value, and this is not the case. There are all sorts of other things with value that can change over time. So one of the ways one of my dealers dealt with it is he hooked up with like this card shop, and you would go and buy trading cards, like specific cards that he specifically wanted for the value of whatever the hell it was you were going to get. You'd come and bring him the cards and he could sell them online for whatever the hell he got for them. But their value, because he was good at this shit, their value only ever went up. And so even though he was selling a 20 bag of meth, he was getting a $20 card that would be worth $30 in 5 years. And my man never went to jail for selling shit. He went to jail for possession and manufacturing and trafficking, but not selling
anything. We're still getting golden Charizards and his Black Lotuses, man. What's the address?
Dude.
Bro, I'm in Georgia. There's tons of games down here.
They be on some crazy shit up here in North Carolina too, though, for real. No, I'm serious. How about they passed me back my paraphernalia the other night and didn't write me a ticket?
You show your tits?
I should have.
You scored. There we go.
I mean, really though, it had me really. I was like, "Are you fucking with me right now?" Like,
we're all so classy.
Oh yeah, you know, just abundance of that.
Wait a second. I said,
"You need some." That's what they said.
Squat squad. Is that it?
What?
Well, precious gems and diamonds have the issue of most of them being laser marked. And so they not only know who cut it, when it was cut, where it came from, all of that crap, right? But at the same time, if you happen to have some of the old school blood diamonds, those things are worth a mint, bro, because they haven't been marked. They haven't been counted. They aren't in circulation.
Foot cranks. The best ones are foot cranks. Well, I'm sorry, gemstones. You know, I used to do on gemstones. Hand carved.
Give me gold and silver. You can remelt it and shape it into whatever you want, and then melt it back into a brick when you need to.
I don't mind paying for it. I know where there's a shit ton of gold, but I won't take it.
More than a certain amount of gold is a felony. You can't hoard but a certain amount of gold. There's a limit.
Like 5.4 ounces.
Yeah, and same for silver. Anything that was ever attached to the U.S. dollar has a limit to how much a citizen can own. And if you have it now, I believe you can own it, but you can't actually possess it, right? Now, there are exceptions. If you are like a panning miner type miner, if you're an open load miner, you can have as much on hand as long as it's not actually pure assayed gold. Once it's assayed, it's turned into the federal government and you get your money. Ironically, you can get it as like electrum, or you can have it back in solid form for jewelry, right? But you kind of got to have a jeweler around to be like, yeah, I'm going to make some jewelry out of that. And then you can keep the coins, as many of the coins as you want, provided they're not better than like, I think 15 karat gold. So one of the tricks to moving gold in and out of the country is you make a form of a out of print coin of some kind, and okay, all right, I'll be nice. My bad, but you're still welcome to the participation trophy, I suppose. You take a coin, you make a bad copy of it in a mold, and then you actually put pure gold in that coin instead of having it being 15 karat or whatever the limit is. They'll tell you that it's 99.9% pure, but the reality is the gold that went into it was 99.9% pure, not the coin.
It takes a lot of acid just to break down your 20 to 22 karat gold that you find, and then melt that down to make that pure, just to put it in your smelter and put it into restamp.
You write you watch SRE tips, street tips.
I learned YouTube.
He does refining, like different metals, refining platinum, palladium. I don't think I've ever seen him take cobalt, gold, silver, and various amalgams that you can like electrolyze out of solution. He does.
Oh yeah, beakers.
Okay, I got two things to say real quick. One, moral of the story is melt the gold down and make whatever type of fake art you want, as long as it's pure gold and you can have as much of it as you want.
Right.
Two, just to let unadulterated know, Delta 9 is actually the legal THC that is illegal in most places. All the other deltas are legal though.
And it's like,
they still have it around here, and it's illegal here. We're connected to two states that are illegal. Sorry, but
what? No, you're fine.
It's all government controlled. What it is, it's a chemical. What they do is they melt it down and add chemicals to the hemp and make that. And I know how it works because I've lived next to hemp fields here in Kentucky, and I've talked to the farmers. They've gotten fines for growing real shit, but on the side, they didn't get fines for growing real shit. You know what I mean? But they explain the whole process, and they have to add. The government, they're regulated to make that Delta 8 and Delta 9. And the reason they don't get in trouble is because they pay the taxes on it. You pay the taxes, it's legal, and that's how it gets to the stores, and they pay the taxes. So they're fucking sitting there and making taxes off poisoning people because it ain't pure.
We have Delta in here, and Delta 10 is like some shit that will take the chrome off of a bumper.
Yes, it is.
Delta 8 and Delta 10 are the weaker THC variants.
What I'm saying is
Delta 0 is the man-made variant.
It's rough to hit. It's really hard to hit. Like this shit like hitting freaking Pine Sol.
I like my shit from the 70s.
I do too. I'm just like, why can't we go back to the old school stuff?
Because that in a fucking ditch somewhere, and somebody cut it down and brought it to you and sold it for $20, and it never had any THC associated with it in the first place. I'll skip it.
That's the ditch weed from Georgia that you're talking about in Kentucky and other places.
Well, I live in North Carolina, man. We don't.
Just a weed.
As soon as we come backstage off this live stream, I'm gonna tell you a little story that'll blow your fucking mind. But let me tell you, I've seen enough weed to crush a train. Axle that motherfucker out. I have seen a retarded amount of weed, a ridiculous amount of weed.
Yeah.
Like, just anyway. I'll tell you about it, but that's some of that backstage shit that I ain't putting out on YouTube. But witness things that, good weed in Georgia, bro.
There's some. Well, no, not so much.
For you, country boy, you might want to. If you in Georgia, are you in Georgia? If you're in Georgia, you might want to hop up on the panel and hear this story too, because it's an interesting one. It's sort of
once I make the decision to go to Georgia, then I'll probably never come back.
Well, it is God's country. God set aside 4 days at creation, 4 days a year of absolute perfection for Georgia. That's all you get. The rest of it's an unmitigated hell.
Okay.
We have seasons. You want to hear about our seasons?
No, North Carolina's just as crunk.
We have season. We have insect season. And we have leaf season. And all of this.
I love leaf season.
You don't have gutters, do you?
Bro, don't get me started on gutters. I can't even. Like, yes, you know where okay, technically I don't anymore because I moved back into the trailer hood. But yeah, this place has gutters, and let me tell you.
It's called a leaf blower. You get up there with your leaf blower and blow them out. Completely clean gutter afterwards.
You'd have to have a 50-foot ladder in the back, if not more.
Now, if you have a bucket truck.
Well, yeah, but I just don't have a boom truck laying around like, what?
I don't either, but my boss does, and I'm the one who drives it.
Well, just come on up here and clean out these gutters. I don't think nobody has the whole 8 years I've been living here. Where
This cracker's over here in my backyard hanging out.
a cracker?
Yeah, Country Boy Archaeology.
He's in your backyard?
He can't be more than a couple hours away. There's no way in hell.
What if he was really in your backyard?
It might be. Shit, you don't. That's what I'm saying. Is he's not far. Because I'm
kind of creepy like that too.
I'm not far from the from Jimmy Carter myself. Peanuts galore.
Jimmy Carter.
Hey, I've been working on this one for a minute. I'll say, boy, that's the wrong one. Shit. Hey, boo boo, we've got to go get us another picnic basket. Roll up a big get a turducken.
That's pretty good.
Hey, boo boo, all there is weed in this fucking picnic basket.
Hey, Yogi, let's go get high.
Okay. You but stop doing. I mean, you get to do boo boo, but stop doing yogi immediately. That was horrible. I'm just joking. You're probably better than half the people in the chat.
Yeah.
Hey, SpongeBob, let's smoke some seaweed.
Man, I love SpongeBob.
Oh, SpongeBob. We need to get really high on jellyfish.
Someone needs to cut this into shorts.
Yeah, cut the shorts up. Papa will probably do it.
I think Sasquatch just claimed all rights to cut it up in shorts first.
I don't give a shit who gets it, man. I'll be quite honest with you. Somebody make me fucking famous. I'm tired of working.
No, you got to show us your boobs first.
Get 1 million videos, I'll show my boobs.
That's how that works. Y'all, I can't eat. I don't even have a size.
I will cut my hair and change my name.
No. Whoa.
Damn, that upset the room.
We will not. That ain't even like, I'm sure Wife Squatch feels the same way. Like, that shouldn't even be up for debate. Like, who brought that shit to the table?
If I shave my beard, I get divorced. I'm not.
Exactly.
Y'all, man.
Oh, some bullshit.
If you shave your beard, you'll be the one sleeping on the couch.
Right.
Where's my beard?
I call the cops. I'm like, there is a stranger in my house, y'all. Come get this man. Like, seriously.
You got a foghorn leghorn? I'll say, boy, I've been working on a foghorn leghorn for a little while. I'll say you got.
Why are we breaking out beads?
Foghorn leghorn.
Who? What? Where? When?
I'm lost. I'm so lost. I don't even want to know.
I'm not sure I do either.
I thought we were talking about weed, and somebody's talking about breaking out beads, and I know what that means.
Well, we were once.
Trippy hippie time. Smoke eliminator. I smoke too damn much.
All right. I got a question. Who's out there squeezing hippies for candles?
I support hippies. I build candles and cigarette packs.
What do you mean we're twins today?
Views? Yeah.
Dude, I got this thing. Oh my gosh, I should go get my sunglasses. We're super twinsies today.
Brown chicken, brown cow.
I don't even want to know.
No, this
Why
is.
do I have a feeling chat is starting to type in code that I don't understand?
Okay,
Yeah.
see, that's where I go sometimes. I go, wait a minute, what are you motherfuckers really talking about?
I grew up in the same town that Elijah Poole is from. The person who convinced Cassius Clay that he was Muhammad Ali, and also Malcolm X and a handful of the other civic-minded black gentlemen that time period. I'm not going any further down that rabbit hole.
You're not a Moor. You belong to the state.
Okay.
Is that a rope? Hell yeah.
I love my
thing I
gray
found.
TikTok.
Oh, that's old. I'm throwing. Look, bam, in the fucking rat shit.
Don't
Yeah,
you
fuck
love
that
it when you
rope.
nail the basket though? Just, I love that shit.
I'm so lost. I have no
It's
idea.
the little things.
You're not the only one.
I do. I sit across from the room. And I got my basket, like the trash can, like so far away from where I sit on the couch.
Yeah.
So I just throw it.
Yeah, no. Like I said, he ain't far. Can't be far. There's no way he's far away.
Wait a minute. Luke Bryan lives in Georgia,
No, he's got a couple of places,
but he's also married, happily married.
yeah, he's about 2 hours away. I got a general idea of where he's at because he just started speaking some Native American that I doubt any of you motherfuckers have ever heard before. Some like Wissakuchi and Muchalachi and what's that one? Kinchafoni? Kinchafoni.
He's sitting there watching KG Word of the Day, man.
Yeah, no, anyway, stop doxing yourself. You know why? Chicken thigh. You know what? Chicken butt. Ajot's trolling me.
Hi, Ajot.
I thought that's what we all do.
Whatever you got time for. I mean,
I was
Much
sleeping.
love and peace and happiness and community and yeah.
poo chicken poo. my chat has degenerated into childhood name calling. All right,
You better
everybody
be
shut up.
nice about it.
Yeah, right. I mean, they're not being terrible. Get lost in the sauce. Wait, get lost in the sauce, but not the beaver. We're circling back. Yeah.
Though is that honey badgers are immune to snake venom. They're not immune. They're much more resistant than other animals, but enough penetrating bites can flatline even a honey badger. But usually if a honey badger is wounded by a venomous snake, it'll just pass out in an almost coma-like state, only to get up a few hours later and walk off like a Sunday morning hangover. Not only is honey badger skin tough, it's incredibly loose, especially around the neck. So if one's ever being mauled by a big cat, this walking cigar can turn around while being attacked and deliver smoke directly to the face. Honey badgers are furry duracells, and anything short of a round directly to the skull isn't guaranteed to kill them. This durability is why honey badgers are either brave enough or stupid enough to blatantly steal from top predators, and they usually target leopards. Unlike lions and hyenas, leopards are solitary assassins that hide their prizes high up in the branches where they can't get their pockets picked. The food may be safe from lions, but they're not safe from a malicious equality symbol with nothing to lose. Honey badgers will risk it all by attempting to steal from a leopard by climbing a tree once it steps away from its meal. If the honey badger gets caught in the act, it'll throw a loud temper tantrum, hissing and screaming as it backs away. A method I'm sure they got from their close cousin, the wolverine. The wolverine is a honey badger on PEDs, built for the freezing tundra of the north. And even though they're roughly in the same weight class as a medium-sized dog, tankier predators like bears and mountain lions will occasionally pay food taxes to this walking vibe check. But the thing with wolverines is they have the strength and speed to catch their own bodies. Wolverines will stalk a potential victim for hours, even days, and there have been reports of wolverines posting up in trees just so they can wait for the right moment to pounce. But why waste the energy or calories doing that when you can just pickpocket a grizzly or clutch a 2v1 versus wolves? And just like the honey badger, wolverines will attack anything with a pulse. Difference is they have the tools to actually stop it. One wolverine put a polar bear in a headline after clamping its vice grip jaws around the struggling bear's throat until it suffocated. There have even been reports of a wolverine dropping a female moose by ripping at its shoulder blades until it eventually tapped out. In comparison, honey badgers have allegedly KO'd units like the Cape Buffalo and Waterbuck, except the honey badger's methods are different. Wolverines are little man syndrome but with bear trap jaws. Even though they might not have superhuman healing powers, they do have rotated teeth. Wolverines are equipped with upper molars rotated 90 degrees inward, meaning they can easily eat a grizzly bear's leftovers even if it's half frozen. The dental plan is why a wolverine will eat every part of an animal right down to the bones. Honey badgers don't have nearly that kind of power, but these prison-striped weasels do pack a nasty bite, and they've been seen tearing into tortoises. Wolverines have one more secret, and it's that they smell really, really foul.
All right, you hear that dude's cadence? You hear how he talks? He's just constantly delivering the lines, right? You know, that's what I want somebody to do. Cop smoking.
I need to practice more. I've been trying to practice, and I don't have the gift of gab to articulate my words as well as you do.
Start by not thinking about it.
Well, first I have to read it, then I have to memorize it, then I have to throw it on there.
Go from the heart, man. Just rock it.
Right,
I tried that. It did not work out well. Sasquatch has the link.
Try it again.
Yeah.
You can do it, man. Oh, yeah.
That means. All right, I'm fixing to end the show. We're going to go out with the long play out. Anybody who wants to come in backstage privately, you can even come porn bomb us if you want. It won't cause any damage. The link's pinned to the top, and I'm going to press a button over here, and we're going to do that thing.
Sorry. Good news, though. We're going to have to move the party somewhere a little bit more private, but you're all invited. Lorenzo will give you the details. Yeah!
Step 1, wake up early, gonna rise with the sun. Step 2, get some food in you. Step 3, think real hard about what you wanna be. Step 4, everybody just do your thing.
Wake up, today's gonna be a good day. 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 Wake up. Today's gonna be a good day. Wake up. Today's gonna be a good day. Wake up. Today's gonna be a good day. Yo, set your affirmations, aspirations. I got shit to do, the aftermath of preparation. Good food, good mood, blood in circulation. One step at a time, yeah, that's how you make it. Set a goal you control and the steps you take them. I try to pick one thought, have some concentration. And if I make a mistake, it's called education. I try to do this every day, call it replication. Wake up, today's gonna be a good day. 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 So life ain't easy, yo, I think there's a reason though. Ups and downs, just like every different season, yo. Sometimes I'm high, other times I'm barely breathing, though. I always gotta fight and hide from the demons, yo. Negative thoughts are poison, they rot. Head full of flies, so here come the clouds. They'll never stop unless I can swap all the bad for the good in my head when I'm lost. Yeah, so I'ma fake it till I make it. Positive thoughts are overtaken, I got patience. One day at a time is how you operate a cadence. A flow, you grow, you show yourself a foundation. Stay away from all the shit that causes temptation. I know that I like to do it cause it's sensation. I live my life in my head like a narration. Don't expect greatness, do my best, man, I'll take it. Wake up, today's gonna be a good day. 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 Wake up, today's gonna be a good day.
Wake up early, gonna rise with the sun. Step 2, get some food in you. Step 3, think real hard about what you wanna be. Step 4, everybody just do your thing.
Say hi, Daddy. Say hi, Daddy.
Hi, Daddy.
Whose goddamn white baby is that?
This baby is rice-skinned, but not light-skinned. That is a white child. That is Caucasian from the mountains of Caucasus. That is a Slavic baby, a Viking from Iceland. That baby got 730 as a credit rating right now as an infant. I'm sorry, I should have set a better example in front of the nice white gentleman and your mother. I mean no disrespect, sir. Hope to work for you one day when I get out.
Why are y'all still here? It's the end of the stream. There's still 2 people in chat.
Oh.